Good morning guys, it is a hot Thursday morning. This is London Loop day 4. Today I'm going to be covering sections 16 and 15, that is walking from Cockfosters all the way to Hatch End via Elstree, so it's 2 of the longest sections so far. A bit of a late start today because I had a few bits to sort out this morning, so I've literally 10 minutes ago started my walk at Cockfosters. I'm walking towards Hadley Wood now. The first section is about 17k and the second one's about 16.5, so yeah, it's a quite long one. It's quite a warm day today as well, so I'm just going to crack on with it really. So yeah, let's go, let's walk towards Hadley Wood. My last London Loop walk was last week actually, so I've had quite a few days to rest and recover because that was a pretty busy one, hectic one. So I'm fully recovered from the walk, and this one is a long one, so I wanted to keep it for a day where it's actually, you know, not too busy, but the weather's actually incredibly hot today, so there's if I postpone it any further I won't be able to actually complete it. So it is what it is. I am sort of dealing with the heat and cracking on with it really. So yeah, let's go. Oh, we have a footpath that's closed currently, so I'll have to find a alternative route shortly to get around. Oh, there's a map over here, so let's have a look. So the footpath is closed, but we just need to go on a slight diversion to get to the other side. Behind me is Jack's Lake, so this is where the Brook starts actually. So I've walked through here before and it's such a lovely walk to get to Hadley Common from here, so we're going to stick to the same route and carry on. The last time I was here it was actually winter and it was flooding, so it's nice to see it during the summer. Start off the Brook behind me. So from what I've read so far, I've been told that section 16 is quite a scenic one through, you know, the top part of Barnet and Hadley, lovely villages, quite serene. So hopefully I'll get to experience that in a minute. But I'm currently walking through Hadley Market Common, which is a really lovely sort of woods. It's so different compared to what it was the last time I was here, which was sort of late winter, early spring, January, February time. But it's nice to walk through here when it's nice and sunny and a lot of shade actually, which makes the walk a lot more pleasant. Okay, in the distance I can hear some trains. I know that means I'm coming up to a railway crossing or bridge. This must be the same one I crossed over the last time when I came here from High Barnet. So yeah, so that would be the trains that are going into central London to King's Cross or out into the Midlands, the Great Northern trains. But yeah, so far so good. I've done about 2k so far and the environment hasn't changed that much, so we're still walking through the terrain, should I say, the woodlands. Oh, there's the train. So yeah, it's pretty straightforward so far. We're going to crack on with it and get to Hadley Wood as quick as possible. Right, that would be the trains. So, it's a lovely bridge we're crossing over to get to the other side of Hadley Wood. Let me look around. That's the train tracks. Since Cockfosters, I haven't really seen many London Loop signs yet. There was one on the other end of Hadley Wood. On this side, none yet, so I'm constantly referring to my planned route on my phone to make sure I don't go in the wrong direction. But my GPS is slightly off today as well, so it's telling me that I'm kind of not where I'm meant to be. Hopefully it's just an error and I am going in the right direction. I think I'll be a bit more happy when I see a London Loop sign that way. I know, I am going the right way. Hey, crisis averted. Came across a couple more London Loop signs. I am heading in the right direction, so I don't need to stress myself. Found a nice path, a woodland path alongside the road I was meant to be walking. So I'm taking this path uphill. I feel like it is going to be quite uphill from now on. So let's go. Absolutely quiet though, which is really nice. Okay, we've come out of the woods now and walking alongside this really nice, quaint village, I'd say. Yes, there's the church I'm looking for. I need to cross over when I get to the church and walk on the other side. It's absolutely beautiful here. I'll show you the church in a second. It's right there. Right behind us is the church. You can see we're quite high up now because you can see London through the gaps there. It's such a beautiful park. We're going downhill. So we eventually came out of Hadley Wood and across the road, had to walk through some really lovely houses actually, like really expensive houses as well, and then we walked into another park now. Not quite sure what this park is called, I'm gonna have a look in a minute, but it looks absolutely beautiful. I saw some London Loop signs so that I know I'm going the right direction. So yeah, I'm gonna make the most out of this nice weather and the nice scenery and carry on walking. Right, so I just had a look at the map really quickly. We're in Barnet, King George's Field, so we're quite high up in Barnet, and we need to walk down that way towards the end of the field. I've done about 3.5, maybe 4k so far, so yeah, good distance so far. I wish I would have started this hike a lot earlier today, but you know, getting stuck in traffic for almost half an hour and waking up late didn't really help. But not to worry, by the time I finish it would be about 7, half 7 at least today, and there still will be plenty of daylight, so it's always a positive thing. Yeah, this feels like such a relaxing walk though, but I know if I take it too easy it's going to take me forever, so I'm going to pick up my pace and crack on with it really. Okay, we are in High Barnet now. We're walking uphill again, so it's been quite tiring the last sort of 1.5k. But we're getting there. I've seen a couple of London Loop signs. That was quite loud actually. Yes, I've seen a couple of London Loop signs, so I know I am heading in the right direction. Let's go. So we're about 200 meters away from High Barnet Station, where the Northern Line terminates. That's because the station's over there and I can see it. So we're sort of walking parallel to the train tracks in High Barnet. We're going to walk further up this field. According to my map, there should be a crossing coming up, so we can cross over to the other side and continue with our walk. Yeah. So far I'm just literally climbing uphill, so I'm looking forward to the part when it's downhill afterwards. Maybe there might not be downhill afterwards though, but you never know. I was walking through suburban Barnet. I was walking alongside the train lines. We're currently at Barnes Plainfields and Brook Farm, and we're going to cut through this to get to the other side and carry on with our London Loop walk. Okay guys, so I'm walking on a nice quiet path. I think this is a good time for me to quickly talk about this section, which is section 16. Now, section 16 is between Cockfosters and Elstree. It's an absolutely lovely section, very similar to section 22 when I was in sort of Upminster Bridge. Very quiet along side, lovely parks and little rivers and brooks. The only problem I had was when I started off, there weren't any clear signs to where I need to go, so it took me a while to figure out how to resort to my GPS and my plan. Other than that, it's been a quite quiet and scenic section so far. I am about halfway through section 16. We're still up in High Barnet, heading towards whatever the next area is, really. So yeah, let's crack on. So I am currently walking alongside the Dollis Brook. Don't know much about that little waterway, I'll have to look it up later. We are somewhere in the top end of Chipping Barnet. We're going to carry on walking this sort of alongside this brook for the next 2.5k, I think. Then we'll get into a town or village. Right, we are finally back on track. That was a good 15 minutes wasted taking a wrong route, walking around this field, but we're back on track now. We are on the other side and we're walking along the same brook, and yeah, I mean, a walk wouldn't be a walk without us getting lost at least once or twice. So yeah, that's I guess that's the only time we get lost. I'm saying I guess a lot. This is the other thing about taking a new route that you're not familiar with, is you don't know where you're going. You just need to figure it out as you get on, really. Okay, we made it to a tiny little bridge, and this is my first London Loop sign in a long time. It's right there. Well, it's actually not the London Loop sign. Oh, there's the London Loop sign. It is the Dollis Valley walk sign. We're crossing the river, and once we get to the other side, oh yes, we've got another sign, one of the old school loop signs. You can see it's wooden, it's written as loop, and it's telling us to go to the right. So that's exactly what we're going to be doing. And also, we are back on another open field, which is the part I hate. Oh well, let's go. Finally, we are on a path that is clearly signposted. Every couple of 100 meters there is a sign saying this is the London Loop, which makes things a lot easier. But earlier I was just getting a bit annoyed because I got lost quite a few times within like the same area, and I was a bit annoyed. But like here, you can see right behind me there's a London Borough Barnet path, which is basically the same route as the London Loop. Yeah, I hope that soon, I think in the next 2 or 3k, I am out of the fields and the woods. I'm on a road. I can make up a bit of pace and hopefully take a break as well, because I've been walking for about 10k so far without a break. I think as soon as I get to 15k halfway through, I will take a break and have my lunch. All right, let's go. I just came across the first human being in the last hour. I guess not many people take this route though, because it is quite a warm day today. Yeah, it is what it is, I guess. Yeah, out of the fields, walking through these woods again. So the scenery's been so far sort of woodland trails, open fields, paths alongside rivers. Yeah, a mixture. Okay, I took a completely wrong way. I had to jump over some barbed wire, cut myself. Oh dear. I am starting to hate this section so far because the signage is absolutely shit. Oh, it is what it is. Okay, yeah, finally off that busy country road. Nothing against country roads, but when you're walking on a country road, you are very close to traffic, and they go at 40 miles per hour most of the time, and the pavements are actually quite narrow. So yeah, you are It's also very close to the edge of the road. I never feel comfortable walking on country roads, or cycling for that matter. Yeah, that previous part of Dollis Brook was absolutely horrendous, because we're walking alongside a river, then got into this field, an old football playground, took the wrong way, went up to the front, the gate was locked, a little bit you can jump through with barbed wire. I had to jump over it only because I didn't want to go all the way back and walk the section again. Yeah, so I was a bit annoyed. Now we are back on track now, so we're going to crack on with it. I think I've done about 12k so far. That means we've got about another 5 to go till we get to sort of Elstree and Boreham Wood. So yeah, let's carry on. It is absolutely quiet, not a little noise. Again, I'm walking alongside this farm, there's a couple of horses, but this is just peaceful. See, this is why I do walks like this, because you want to end up in a place where it's nice and quiet. You get to sit down, relax and take it easy, but there are also going to be parts where you're going to get lost. You're going to take the wrong route or path, end up walking the wrong way till you realise what you've done wrong. But I guess it is part of the adventure. You can probably hear the busy traffic in the background. That is the dual carriageway that we need to cross shortly. I think as soon as I cross that, it's going to be a bit more peaceful. But the current woods I'm in right now, it is absolutely gorgeous. Very peaceful indeed. We finally made it to the underpass. We are crossing over to the other side now. Yeah, this is bringing back memories similar to the one in the A10, but it is what it is. And we're going that way. Alright, we are at Scratchwood Local Nature Reserve. I am glad to say that we're finally away from the busy dual carriageway and back into the woods. Okay, let's go. We're currently walking through Scratchwood Local Country Nature Reserve. I feel like the next 2.5 to 3k is going to be literally through different woods, and we are walking downhill, so it's a good way to rest actually, because for the last sort of 5k it's been climbing uphill or walking next to loud and busy roads. So it's nice to sort of walk downhill, take it easy, conserve some energy. I feel like if I find a nice spot in a minute, I'm going to have my lunch break, because I'm literally over halfway through my entire walk. So this section is about 17 point something k, and I've done about 15k so far. So yeah, it's not long till section 16 ends and section 15 starts, but if I can find a nice spot here in the woods away from everyone else, I will happily take my 20-minute lunch break and, you know, charge myself up, so I'm good for another 15k. Just tempted to walk up these logs, I guess. Another 1.5k to go till I reach Elstree and Boreham Wood, so that's where I will be finishing section 16. and starting section 15. Normally I'm good at doing long distance hikes. I guess today's the heat really. It's about 31 degrees right now. Even though I'm walking through a forest, it's nice and cool here, but every now and then you have to walk through an open field, and I'm finding it really difficult. I have had my lunch break, I've had plenty of water to drink, so I'm quite hydrated. I guess we just need to sort of push through till we get to Elstree, maybe take another short break there, and then carry on from there really. We're back on a busy main road with endless traffic, so didn't really feel like filming anything here, but wanted to give you an update. We're on the last stretch to Elstree and Borehamwood, where I will be finishing the section, and the last stretch is actually on this main road, so yes, it's going to be a busy one. And there are actually London Loop signs everywhere. Amazing. Let's go. Alright, just made it to Elstree and Borehamwood. That means I've just completed section number 16. Elstree and Borehamwood train station's that way. I don't need to walk that way, so I'm going to carry on walking in this direction. This is the start of the next section, which is section 15. I've got another 15k to go, I think, all the way to Hatch End. Let's go. We're right in the middle of Parkfields right now. We're going to take this path, cut through, and get to the other side. So, section 16. I'd say out of all the sections I've done so far, it's probably my least favourite because of the fact that I've got lost one too many times. The route wasn't clearly signposted, and I don't know, I just did not enjoy it at all. Maybe it could be the weather, maybe it's just the way it was done. Yeah, section 16, my least favourite so far. Just started section 15, so far so good. We've started off by coming off the main road from Elstree and Borehamwood train station and walking into these woods, and it's been quite pleasant so far. So yeah, I'm just going to carry on. Okay, we are walking through yet another golf course. Yay! I feel like golf courses are a recurring thing on every London Loop walk I'm doing. This is a nice quiet one, so no complaints at all. The actual footpath is clearly signposted. Yeah, so all good so far. Okay, the walk through the golf course was short-lived. We are back on an open field, and yeah, there was one London Loop sign pointing in the direction. I'm going to trust it and crack on with it. Now, section 15 is also a very long one. It's 16k, so I've done about 2k so far, so I've got 13 more to go. And the worst part is today my GPS has been off on the app I normally use for planning my routes, so it's just showing me the wrong direction. It's off by about 200 meters sometimes, so that's quite a distance really. So maybe because I'm literally out of London, don't have really good reception. I don't know what the problem is, but that's probably why I've got lost quite a few times today. Oh well, it is what it is. Okay, I had to walk along a main road for about a good 500 meters. We've crossed over into another field, and this field is like a nice path which is leading me to a lake of some sort, which is quite nice actually. Also, this is the same direction towards Elstree, even though the station called Elstree and Borehamwood is back behind us where we started the section. That is more towards Borehamwood than Elstree. Now we are going into the actual village called Elstree. The other thing is, the field I'm walking through, apparently there's horses there, so I need to be real careful because, as it says on the little notice, animals can be unpredictable. So yeah, just be a bit careful and then you'll be alright. Okay, the walk led us to this beautiful lake. It's awfully quiet and no one's around. If I go on the opposite direction, I can go sit by the lake, but then again it's the opposite direction, so I'm just gonna carry on walking. We got a lot of distance to cover. We still got about a 12k, which means we're looking at about another 2.5 hours to go. I haven't even looked at what time it is yet. It feels like it's about gone past midday, 2-3 o'clock. So ideally I want to finish this hike by 5, get back home by 7. Oh dear, I am knackered. Alright, I am exhausted. We're walking uphill again. It's hot. We are somewhere between Watford and Elstree, or somewhere between Elstree and Hatch End. Not too sure. We've got 7.5k to go. At least I got some shelter from the sun because it's scorching. I'm walking through or in between fields, walked along some lovely horses. Yeah, I need to end this hike soon, get a cold drink and relax. That's the goal. Let's go. Alright, we are back onto a quiet country road. Oh, this has been a very interesting walk for sure. Today I walked past many different lakes actually, quite beautiful ones, quite eerie ones like this one. There was a swampy one earlier, but yeah, we're getting there. We are getting there. So I've got about 5.5k left, which means I walked about 10k so far of section 15. We are heading towards Hatch End. No idea where that is. I know for a fact it's near Watford because I had to go past the Hatch End station years ago to go to Watford for something. But yeah, so I guess this is why it's taken me longer, because I am exploring a part of London that I've never been to before, so I'm being cautious, I'm taking it easy, constantly double checking. Probably why I enjoyed the last 2 sections more, because it's familiar territory. So it is what it is. Section 15, here we go. So I was walking through this field, minding my own business, came across like 7 cows. They were quite big, they had horns. I was terrified for a second. I was like, what the hell do I do? But luckily they were just literally on the other side. Plenty of room between them and me. So I walked very quietly, walked past them, and I am out of that field right now. Wow. Yeah, that was a bit of an experience. Got my heart rate right up actually. This is the thing, you never know what animals are going to be like and how they're going to behave, you know, next to you. I've been in fields with cows, I've been horse riding before, but it's just, sometimes you just don't know how they're going to respond and how you should respond to them. So I always try to stay out of their way as much as possible. Whew, that was something else. We've just crossed another major road and we're cutting through these fields to get to our destination. Yeah, it's been good so far. I feel like this is taking me forever to complete because I am genuinely tired today. I've actually got my ankles, they're both my ankles are hurting right now. It's probably because I had to sort of jump over a few things today and my leg got caught up in some barbed wire which I had to jump through. So yeah, not very good at all. But we got about 3.5k to go and I know for a fact we can make it. When we get to Hatch End train station, that's the overground, we'll stop, summarise what we've done so far and celebrate completing London Loop day 4, and of course grab a beer. That's always a plus when on a hot day like this. You can cool down, One of the other things is I've bought about 2.5 litres of water today, and I've gone through a lot of them. So first thing I'm going to do is, when I get to Hatch End, I know there are a couple of shops by the station, get a litre of water, down it. That's the plan, because I am properly dehydrated as well now. That's probably why I'm feeling a bit tired, because dehydration is a bitch. So yeah, get to Hatch End, water, beer, and get home. That's the plan. Okay guys, we got 2k left till the end of section 15, until I reach Hatch End. Yeah, so section 15 has been an amazing, relaxing and calming route. One of the things I need to say is that there's quite a few times that we had to walk through private land, but it's owned privately, but you can walk through it because there's a public footpath there, which I found a bit confusing. I don't know how the routes actually work, so that was rather confusing. But other than that, it's been a very relaxing and adventurous walk. Compared to the previous section, which is section 16, it's a hell of a lot better. I did not get lost at all this time, because I was paying attention to the signs, because there were plenty of signs and they were clearly signposted, and the route was pretty straightforward. So yes, definitely would recommend section 15 from Elstree to Hatch End. I feel like this is something you would want to do in a nice cool day. Definitely would be interesting to do it in winter or autumn, but definitely on a cool day. I think I chose the wrong time to do this, because it's way too warm to do it. I guess anything more than 25 degrees, it's a bit too much for hiking, especially me, because I don't really tolerate warm temperatures too well. And of course, I'll run out of water because of that. Now, 2k to go. I can happily survive 2k without water. Yeah, we're gonna crack on. I'll do my last little update when we get to Hatch End, and then we go from there. And look at the view. This is beautiful. Alright, I finally made it to Hatch End Station. That means section 15 of London Loop is complete, and I've fully completed day 4 of London Loop. Alright, now the hike is officially over. See you on the next one, guys. Bye bye. Cheers.